I've got my chat window working now, so I can see if anyone has anything to say. Welcome to another stream. I'm going to be streaming some more Final Fantasy XIV this evening. Just continuing to get ready for when I'm doing my big 26-hour stream on Sunday, when I'm raising money for Diversity Role Models. So that's, if you see up in that corner, there we go, up in that corner, you can see fundraising total. That's what we're fundraising for. We're fundraising for Diversity Role Models, going to be online for 26 hours starting on Sunday, going through to Monday. Fundraising for Diversity Role Models, as I say, who work with schools around making them more LGBT inclusive, so that every young person can grow up feeling accepted and valued, whatever their gender identity or sexual orientation is. So that's what I'm fundraising for. I think tonight I'm going to really want to continue leveling up my Gunbreaker, I think. I've nearly got it up to level 71. For anyone who's been tuning in recently, you'll have seen that level 71 is what I'm aiming for with my Gunbreaker. So let's start with a level 50, 60, 70 dungeon to get a bonus for being a tank. And we'll take it from there. Do say hi in the chat if you're sat there watching. Always happy to chat away while I'm playing. Good to hear how everyone's doing as well. Let's just repair that gear, I think. Yeah, that's the only gear I need to repair when I'm waiting for this dungeon. We'll see how quickly we get something through this roulette. I also don't know if anyone saw, I was tweeting about it earlier today. I think Diversity Role Models, through that Twitter feed, have been tweeting about it as well. I've been working really hard to try and get 26 people for 26 hours. So someone to come on at the top of each hour, come on and talk to me for about 5 to 10 minutes. Most of them are all have some kind of connection to Diversity Role Models, so they're going to come on and talk to me about their experience of our work. A couple of people who don't have such a connection, but they're going to talk to us about their experience with LGBT work in schools, why that's important, what difference it can make to young people. Really excited about that. I've currently got 25 people lined up, so I've nearly got 26. So I'm hoping with a little bit of extra hard work tomorrow, I'm going to get there and have 26 people that you'll all be able to hear from. So, throughout the day, people who tune in are... Where did that go? Oh, someone withdrew. That was quick. So throughout the day, people who tune in are going to be able to learn more about what we do as an organisation and things as well. Here we go. Got through the queue. Let's see what we've got in this duty. Let's see which dungeon we've got. So one of the things you can do, you can turn on in Diversity Role Models, in Final Fantasy XIV, this is a good start, is what's called Party in Progress. So I've opted to say I'm happy to join groups where they've already started and they've had a member drop out for whatever reason, and they're looking for someone else to join their group. So that's what we've got here. Looks like they're about a third of the way through the dungeon already. But I don't know what's happened. I've asked what's happened, but they've not told me where the other person's gone. In fact, they're not even quite a third of the way through, so I don't know what happened. If they've had an argument, someone's left, for whatever reason. Yeah. So this is a level 50 dungeon, so quite a bit lower than the level that my Gunbreaker is, because I'm level 69 at the moment. But we get synced, so I'm synced down to level 50, so it's not like I'm doing it as if I were a level 69 player, because that would just be too easy. There's a big gorilla thing, this looks interesting. Oh, it must be a boss. It's behind this little wall. Sasquatch. Let's see if we get with this. said, do say hello in the chat if you start watching. If not, I'm always happy as well to chatter away inanely to myself. But it's nice to obviously get to chat to you guys as well out there watching the stream. Always interested to hear as well if you are people who play 14 yourselves. If you've not played 14 before, you know, maybe you're interested in seeing what it's all about. You know, interested to hear why it is that people come to the stream. What you're looking to get out of it. And if I get the opportunity, I will absolutely wax lyrical and tell you all about how amazing Final Fantasy XIV actually is. This boss is giving us a lot of ability stats. We all appear to be getting them already, but they just can't be avoided. Appear to be getting everyone. But it also doesn't appear to be causing us too much harm at the moment. We're doing pretty well. We just need to take it down as quickly as we can. Before this increased vulnerability keeps seeing pop on my screen, just getting more and more. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's all come off now anyway. It's eating the bananas. Oh, okay, looks like the bananas have increased in strength. I have done this one before, but this dungeon, but quite a while ago, so I don't remember masses about it. Yeah! There we go, we got through the first one. First boss down. Some loot. 2 bosses to go until we're through the dungeon. Get a nice big XP bonus, hopefully. Loads of treasure coffers in there as well. Oh, the healer's here with me. I don't know what's happened to the 2D pairs. Here we go, here they come. Catching up. Happy Friday as well, everyone. I don't know about you, but I'm excited for the weekend. Especially as it's the weekend when I will be streaming, as I've said. So 26 hours starting on Sunday morning, going through till about Monday lunchtime. It's going to be a bit hardcore, but I'm starting to feel ready for it. I've got most of the things I want sorted technically all set up. I'm still trying to solve one little technical problem, which I'm going to get sorted tomorrow. Yeah, just before I came on the stream, I went out to the supermarket as well, so I went and stocked up on essentials for the 26-hour stream. So I have some, not actually Red Bull, but some own brand Red Bull, stuff like it, and an absolute load of Haribo. Ready for me to... Oh, it dropped a stone tablet. I feel like we should have picked that up. Yeah. Thank you, person who's picked up the stone tablet. Oh, and we're going to put it on the stone pedestal. I see. It's nice and logical. So yeah, loads of sugar and loads of caffeine for if I need it during the middle of the night. We shall see. I've not been feeling that tired recently. I know I've had some people who are really telling me that I look tired. I always look tired though, but you're not feeling too bad at the moment. It looks tired. So hoping staying up is not going to be too difficult. Actually going to be a bit more interesting to see how easy it is to just keep talking for 26 hours. Because I know it's not great to have a stream where someone's just sat there quietly doing something. It's not the most exciting thing in the world. So I'll try and make sure I keep talking to you all for 26 hours. Assuming, is this going to give us another... I'm guessing one of these are going to give us... Oh, is there something else still? Oh, we open this one. I'm guessing one of these are going to give another stone tablet or something. Hopefully. Yeah, stone tablet. There we go. So guessing we're going to need to put that in another door. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about this, I don't recognise any of this. I've got this strange feeling I've never done Outbreak Hard. I don't honestly know. I thought I'd done all of these dungeons. Maybe it is just so long ago that I have zero recollection of it. I was pretty sure I've done all the level 51s before. Oh, this is another side bit. I wonder what's down that side bit. Okay, let's just try coming here and see what happens first. Hopefully, get the feeling we're probably approaching another boss. Which should be good pretty soon. Oh, we found 2 or 3 stone tablets. There must be another stone tablet somewhere that we need to find in order to be progressing. You can see that open right on the side. The other thing I really enjoyed today, and I don't know if anyone else was doing this, depending on whether or not you're a Final Fantasy XIV fan, is I was watching some of the live letter with Yoshida-san. Really enjoyed that. It's like, for those who don't know what it is, I guess it's kind of like a Nintendo Direct, or, you know, it's like along those kind of lines, talking about what's coming up in the game, talking about what they're going to add in the next patch, but it's much longer, so it's a pretty long presentation. Went on for about 4 hours. Not all of that time talking about new stuff, they did some other stuff as well. Go. Looks like... yeah, another boss. Here we go, boss number 2. Ready. Called Storm. Looks like a big wormy thing. Let's see how we go on with this one. But we're making fairly swift progress through the dungeon. I think I joined 10 minutes ago when they went up to the first boss yet, and now we're up to the second boss. So we're getting through pretty quickly this evening, which is good. That's going to help my levelling up. If I have a chance to do some other roulettes after this. There it is. Yeah. Let's see where we get to though. So, on we go. Oh no. That's not ideal. Oh. And the return big wormy thing. Let's do this. Get my health regenerating and make sure that I've got some mitigation on as well, so that I'm not taking as much damage. Yeah. Nearly done. This boss isn't causing us too much trouble then. So we have... is that healer gone? Oh no, it looks like healer was just stunned or something. Oh. Diving under one more time. I wonder if I'm like meant to... yeah, that's giving me some kind of... oh, someone's got in the watery grave. That doesn't sound good. That must have been what happened to the healer last time. I don't know what happened, I guess. Excellent. Another boss bites the dust. Here we go. Let's roll on the loot. Not a crafter, so I don't need a crafting staff. Hi Tom, hi James, welcome both. James loving the reactions when it goes wrong. When what goes wrong, James? Just in general. I've got this strange feeling, I'm trying to work out whether or not I've done this duty. I don't know if you guys were on when I was talking about that. It kind of really doesn't seem familiar, but I'm sure I've done all the level 50 stuff. But yeah, I just haven't got a clue. We're just going to keep squishing these things. I'm a bit annoyed, maybe it was that long ago you forgot. Yeah, it might have been that long ago I forgot, Tom. That's definitely a distinct possibility. Because if you think about it, my level 50 stuff I was on like September, October. Hey Peter, Hullbreaker Isle is fun, enjoy the last boss. Thank you. I know, so I must have done it. Is this this is standard Hullbreaker Isle? It's not even... I'm just so confused now. I'm just so confused. I don't know what's going on, honestly. But yeah, we're gonna get through it. We will get through it, we'll do it. thank you all of you for joining. It's nice to know that you're on with me. You're becoming, especially you, Tom and PC, are fast becoming like my couple of regulars, so it's really appreciated. How's my New Horizons town going, by the way? It's not really going. I've not actually really played it for like a week and a half. I don't know, I like playing New Horizons really, or New Animal Crossing in general. I like playing it really slowly. And just doing my own thing, and I really enjoyed that. When I played New Leaf, I played it way after everyone else had played it, so there wasn't really anyone talking about it, didn't really know anyone else who was playing it. I was just doing my own thing, and I was quite enjoying that. In the Nintendo 5 and Friends Discord server, which I'm in, and I know some of the rest of you are in, everyone's just going crazy for Animal Crossing, and I just find like the more they all talk about all the things they're doing to their island, the less it makes me want to play it. I don't know why, because they're all doing these really amazing things, and it just makes me feel so insufficient because I'm just like playing it really slowly and doing not a lot. But the thing I do really like, for sure, is I like collecting the bugs and the fish. I've already got the bugs and the fish that are leaving at the end of this month, so kind of that was a bit of a drive for me to play it in March. Yeah, it is a game you can take your own pace, that's true. I'm just, as I say, I'm finding it a bit weird playing it in this way, where it's like, oh, no, we're going this way. Fine. Oh, no, I do remember this last boss, I think. Oh, so maybe I do remember this. What was I saying? Yeah, it's a game that I'm just finding it a bit weird, having played it, like, in isolation, in this little bubble previously, playing it in this really social way. I know, I don't really worry about keeping up with everyone. It's just this weird thing that, like, seeing them all take it really seriously just makes me less keen. I don't know why. It's really odd. Plus, I just still can't get away from this. I've even barely played Final Fantasy VII Remake. There we go. No, I must have played this because I've skipped the cutscene. No, it's the Kraken, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, I definitely remember this now. But yeah, I've barely played Final Fantasy VII Remake as well, so it just doesn't seem to interest me that much at the moment. I don't know what it is, maybe I'm just not in the right place. But we'll see. Yeah, I play this and New Horizons ONW? I don't get what you mean by ONW. Is that an abbreviation I've not understood? Guessing, do I need to... guess I'm going to get over to the Kraken itself at some point. But I have, again, as I'm saying, I have very little recollection of what's going on here. Oh, a geyser. Over here. Okay, cool. So I can come over and tackle the next one. Oh, now typo. Okay, fine. I was trying to work out if it was some kind of abbreviation that I just never heard of. But apparently not. There's a Kraken arm over here. Oh, sorry, it's a really loud ping in my ears, so I don't quite know what notifications come in. I'm not entirely sure. This is going to drop something out like a meteor on me, isn't it? Or a comet, I guess. Nope. Okay, let's come over to this one. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see how we get there. Hello to whoever's just joined. We're just on the boss of Hullbreaker Isle. Just doing what we can to get rid of this Kraken. It all appears to be squishing quite quickly, so yeah, we'll see how we get on. Hopefully, I'm gonna properly... Yeah, I've got something I need to turn... looks like it's my Facebook. Lots of noises at me, it's distracting me. Oh shoot. Oh, someone's been grabbed by the arm. We need to come and rescue them? No, they're free. Fine. Are we actually going to get to attack the Kraken at some point? It just feels like all we're doing is attacking its arms. Let's see if we can get that. Yeah, so we're just on the last boss of Hullbreaker Isle. tentacle. There's the tentacle. Oh, no, I can't see it. Where is everything? Here, here's a tentacle. Can I not get the... attack the damn thing? I legitimately do not know what I'm doing. This is confusing me. I can't target that. I can't target the tentacle as far as I can tell. Oh, someone's over here with it. Here we go, here we go, here we go, the tentacle. We're gonna get it, we're gonna get it now. Definitely gonna get it now. Never fear, Ninley is here. Let's come here to get some battle against this tentacle. There's another tentacle. Here it is, here it is. Oh, AoE. Oh. Spotted that too late. Oh, I'm down. I don't think this is going very well. Yeah, no, we're just gonna wipe, aren't we? There's no way that this machinist is gonna manage this on their own. Well, hello, welcome to whoever's just joined the stream. Lovely to have you with us today. Do please say hi in the chat, whichever way it is that you're watching, whether it's on Twitter or on Twitch. Always nice to know who's watching and have a chat with you as I play. We just wiped on the final boss in Hullbreak Isle, so yeah, we'll see how we get on this second time round, see if we do any better. I have done this dungeon, for sure, I've now decided, but I remember next to nothing about it. So little that for a while I was trying to work out whether or not I'd done this dungeon before or not. Until I saw the cutscene. The cutscene on the boss let me know that I definitely had done this dungeon before, so... this way... Oh, this is not the way I came before. Oh, whatever. Fine, we'll just fight our way through, even if it's not the way we came before. I'll go this way. So this evening I'm going to be on for about an hour, so I'll be finishing at about 7. Just working on what I've been working on most this week for people who tuned in. Leveling up my Gunbreaker. I've been wanting to get it up to level 79, not 79, 71, I can't speak today. Because once it's at level 71 I can run some dungeons with the trust system if I want to, so it'll become really easy to level it up to 80. Yeah, so that's the plan. I'm level 69 at the moment, and about 80% of the way from 69 to 70, so I've nearly got there. Nearly made it all the way up to level 71 with my Gunbreaker, which is the last tank I have to get up to level 71. So my Paladin and my Dark Knight are level 71 already, and my Warrior is level 80. So I like my tanks, as you can tell. Favourite role to play for sure. Like healing as well, but tanks are just the best as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, running some roulettes so I can get some bonus XP, hopefully level up nice and easily. Provided we make it past this boss that we struggled on last time. Pop this time early. I don't really know why we struggle so much. I don't remember it being difficult when I first did it. Mind you, all 3, I think, of my fellow adventurers watched the cutscene, so I wonder if they're all completely new to the duty. It's possible. I also joined the duty when it was in progress, so I don't know what happened to their other tank. Haven't got a clue what happened to the other tank they had with them. We'll see. Press that one down, another one over here. Let's come back. Systematically take out these arms. So we're ready for the top. Regen. Tentacle, here we go. I think we need the tentacle, which is over there. Nope, it's gone away. Where's it come now? Over here. Get it here? No, it's gone away again. It's playing like hide and seek with us. Okay, it must be targetable now, wherever it is. Here we go. Got it. And we're up and running again. Got hit by an AoE there, though. It's not helpful. Vulnerability stack to make life more difficult. We've got loads. Oh. Picked up and thrown aside like a ragdoll. Oh, it's gone again. Every time I get to where it is, it vanishes. Let's do my head in. And again. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Got it. We just pop Reprisal on it, which is going to reduce its damage, it says, by 10%. So if everyone else is struggling a bit, that should help them. Oh, we're going to get this tentacle this time, though. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Aha, tentacle, done. Now we get another tentacle. This one. I think it looks like we're definitely doing better than we did last time as a party. So, hoping we're not going to wipe again this time, because that would be not great. It'd be a bit embarrassing wiping a second time in a row. For sure. Here it is. Ooh. We have though. Oh, we lost one of our DPSs, but looks like the healers raised them. So hopefully get through. We've also got full limit break when we need it, which would be helpful. Ooh. Let's see if the healer can do this. Come on, healer. I believe in you. If you can res me, healer, then we can do this still. Pop Lucid Dreaming, so trying to charge up their magic points. Oh, they did it! And that wasn't the best performance I've ever had, but yeah, I think the rest of the party was trying a bit as well. I don't know how I squished so quickly either. Let me commend the healer because they managed to keep the show on the road in the end. See what happens. I'm hopefully going to get Wi-Fi. I'm going to get a sleep because I was able to need it. So away we go. Not the best I've ever done in a roulette. I think that is for sure. I think, did I level up? Actually, I leveled up. No, I'm very, very close now. It does happen, Tom, doesn't it? You have those moments when it just all goes a bit to pot. As I say, well, as you all gathered, I couldn't really remember what on earth was going on. Yeah, but we managed the second time. I think we must have been quite close the first time. Anyway, that was 50, 60, 70 roulette. Let's give a shot to leveling roulette now. This will definitely level me up, because I've got such a small percentage now to go to level up to level 70. And then I'll try and see if we're getting quickly enough, I might be able to squeeze in a trial roulette as well. And then after that I need to go make dinner, because it's my turn to make dinner tonight. So I have an unhappy husband if I don't finish on time and sort some food. What am I making? I am making bolognese. So we might have a spaghetti, or we might have I think we've got some penne, or we've got some whatever the spirals are called. I can't remember what the spirals are called. Fusilli. That's it. So we'll decide which one of those we're going to have it with. But we actually had delivered a fruit and veg box and a meat box this week. So we thought we'd give it a shot. And across the two of them, because of mince in the meat box, and there were most of the things that I needed in the veg box for it as well. So yes, we thought bolognese would be nice. Like, it's one of my favourites. Oh, the vault again. I've done so much of the vault recently. This one, I definitely do know what I'm doing. So we're not going to have the same experience, for sure. and the healer's telling me I can pull everything, so we're going to go with some nice big pulls. Although apparently this is as far as we can go at this point. We'll do the biggest pulls we possibly can. But we can't get beyond this door that's locked off. So we're going to have to do this. Oh, you remember this one from when you played Heaven's Ward? Yeah. It's about... Oh, what level are we in? It's like a bit over halfway through Heaven's Ward. It's a dungeon that's actually in Ishgard itself. You might remember, yeah, that's as far as we can go. It actually would be better just... the groups, I think. 57 says Peter, thank you. Yeah, because I guess the halfway one must be the air room. Is that 55? I guess. Yes, it is 55, the area. Cool. This healer seems to be quite chatty. Panic will... There's a daredevil. Why would I panic? I'm confused. What? I don't know what that was about. Yeah, the healer telling me not to panic. But I can understand the healer saying, you know, some healers like to keep your health totally chopped up, or I guess some healers like to do like just-in-time healing. I am very used to, you know, being healed just in time. Because Ruben in an FC will do that. You know, he's like, don't worry, I've got you. You know, I'm watching. I'm not watching, I'm always watching. I'm just trying to get enough DPS in as well. And I've got enough resources that I can get your health up quite quickly when I need to. Fair enough. I'm also going to say to this healer as well, I think not enough tanks use mitigation. They seem to think they don't have a role to play in keeping their own health up, which is just rubbish. You know, it's the tank's job to look after their own health a bit as well. Make sure you're limiting the amount of damage that they're taking, because then the healer can do more DPS. Because they're not having to constantly worry about healing you, because you're using the tools that you have available to you to limit the damage you take. I bet that the same tanks you don't bother using mitigation. There we go. Is that one of those? Ha! Yeah, the healer says the tanks who get annoyed are the same tanks who don't bother using mitigation. Go figure. Oh, this isn't going badly. Yeah, this healer's definitely, you know, I trust this healer. They know what they're doing. I've not fainted at all. I've not been KO'd, so They're obviously managing to get me healed up in time. And we have these two. Just did Doma Castle leveling, Red Mage, struggling with Flare, which you gained at level 68. I don't know much about Red Mage, but if you ask, I don't know if James was on the stream watching on Twitter, I think, rather than on Twitch, so you won't have seen your comment, Peter. But if you keep an eye out on my timeline for James or for Ruben, James is at Varterith, I think, over on Twitter. They both have. I think they both have level 80 Red Mages, so they would be able to give you some tips if you wanted. But also, I will say as well, I love Doma Castle. I think it's such a fun duty. I really enjoy it. It's brilliant. And the music in it is just brilliant as well in Doma Castle. It really is a duty that I enjoy. And what they've done a lot of while leveling. There we go. This guy's all about the AoE. So let's take him down. So Tom, remind me, I know you said you remember this when you did Heaven's Ward. How far did you get in everything? Did you get beyond Heaven's Ward? Just wondering how far it is that you're... I know you've started again from scratch with a new character. Wondering quite how far it is that you have to go to get all the way back up to where you were. I think you got to the end of the first part of Stormblood. Okay, so you did go quite a hefty way. See, I don't think I could just don't think I could cope with doing all that over again. I think it would do my head in. Try and keep them turned this way so that we don't create too many tears. Was in a duty, was in this the other day with Ruben and someone else, and everyone positioned it really awfully, and we ended up with ethereal tears pretty much everywhere you looked. Or at least this one's going off into one that we already had, and that one's going off into one that we already had. This is looking pretty good now. About to get that mitigation back. You don't remember most things, which is good. Well, that does sound good. Especially if, you know, if you're like me, I really love story and I love lore, so, yeah, I know some people don't really care about it, so they just want to skip through it as quickly as they can and enjoy gameplay, which is fine, you know, I love the gameplay as well. Yeah, I do like the story, and I do like to have the story unspoiled. Makes me happy. Onwards. Oh, hello to everyone who's just joined the stream. Welcome. We're just doing leveling roulettes. I'm playing some Gunbreaker this evening. I've been working all this week, really. I've been working on leveling my Gunbreaker up from level... obviously it starts at level 60. Oh, there we go. Leveled up. Been working on leveling it up from level 60 all the way through to level 80. That's where I want to get to ultimately. At the moment, just got to level 70. I'm probably going to take it to 71 and then take a little break and go and level some other jobs. So yeah, I like to give myself a bit of variety, like to kind of do 10 levels at a time, give myself that bit of variety. Also by leveling everything up 10 levels at a time, I can get rid of, you know, now I've got all of my tanks up to this high level, I can get rid of a load of gear and save myself some space in my armor chest. So I have slightly less inventory management problems. Although, as anyone who plays this game will attest, there's quite a large chunk of inventory management. You don't get a lot of space. So you're endlessly switching things around. Especially if you like to play lots of different jobs. Have lots of different gear sets for those. Cramping my legs slightly. There we go. This way. There we go. All of the people gargoyles. And this is the last set of enemies before the final boss. So back to the final boss, which I found really hard the first time I did it. I think I was actually healing as well the first time I did this boss, because I ran a lot of the Heavensward dungeon as my white mage, so I was using it to gain the XP for my white mage so that it could level up. Because my warrior had already got so far ahead levels wise, I just didn't need the XP in the same way as the white mage did. So I'm actually quite glad I did that. It was nice to level up a different role. So to do healing. Oh no, the two people are changed. There we go, they've got it. Oh, here we go. Walkie things, to do healing alongside tanking. I think it's really good as well to play a bit of healing, a bit of tanking, a bit of DPS. It kind of gives you a real. It's gonna be a DPS check now. Gives you a real respect and intricate understanding for how all three of them, intersect. Because it's a game where the balance between the three is to work in harmony. Everyone has to do the job they're meant to be doing. If you just go off and do whatever you want to do, and ignore what your role is meant to be, then you're not being a very good team player. Sickness must be purged, says Peter. Yes, the sickness must be purged. This boss says it over and over. And it shall be a mercy. We get quite a lot as well. Oh, thank you. You discuss me too, Sir Charabert. You disgust me so much that I'm going to squish you. You're not really going to survive much longer. You're below half of your health now. You're making good progress. Oh, we're going to have walkers. Just to make sure they're not going to walk past me. Oh, and I'm sitting in an AoE. There we go, on the floor. Oh, and another one. There we go. Not in that one. Oh, walkers though. Oh, see. There we go. Gonna get hit by a batch of walkers. Oh, lots going on the screen. I don't know if anyone on stream saw any of the live letter today that Yoshida-san, the producer-director, did. Chess Club Nightmares for All. Yes, Chess Club Nightmares for All, definitely with these walkers. But yeah, first time I've watched a live letter because I'm now at a point where, I've got to the end of the story, so I'm not going to get. There we go. I'm not going to get any spoilers from watching it, so that was really good. Really enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun watching it. Yeah, I'm going to commend this healer because the healer did a good job. I'm going to get the loot. But they all gone. And 2 commendations, isn't that good? I'm assuming one of the healers will have done. Hey, what are the other games that you stream? Just curious. I haven't been streaming that much else yet. I'm new to streaming. So I've mostly just been streaming 14 for starters, but I'm streaming on Sunday. I'm doing a charity stream where I'm going to be streaming for 26 hours. Not all Final Fantasy XIV, so during that I'm going to be streaming, wait for it, it's going to come to me, Final Fantasy XIV, Splatoon 2, a bit of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, some Link's Awakening, some Jackbox, a bit of Roller Coaster Tycoon because I loved that as a teenager. I think that's everything. So those are the things that I'm going to be streaming. Yeah, 26-hour stream, yeah, it is for charity. So I actually work for a charity, and they're the ones that I'm doing the stream for. So it's a charity called Diversity Role Models, and we do work with schools, helping them to become more LGBT inclusive. So we take in positive LGBT role models who share their stories, so that young people can better understand how to be good allies and kind of understand what it means. I love theme park as well, and Roller Coaster Tycoon. Like God only knows how many hours I spent on Roller Coaster Tycoon. It was a lot, absolutely a lot. 1 minute, sorry, I've had a message on Twitter as well. I'm just trying to see what that one says. I'm there right now, lol, that's from Ashley. I don't know if that means you're on stream, Ashley, or if it means that you've been in the vault as well, because that's the dungeon that we're in. Sounds like a great charity. Thank you. I think so. I'm really passionate about it, really passionate about what we do. And the reason I decided to fundraise is because it's a really tough time for charities at the moment, especially here in the UK, because of everything that's going on with coronavirus. It's estimated that charities are going to lose £4 billion of income over 3 months. So obviously that's a lot of money that charities are going to be missing out on. I think if I had that support at primary school, I would have grown up being more comfortable with who I am now, just up the charity now. Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, exactly. That's why I got involved. It's why lots of our volunteers get involved, because basically, you know, the people who go into schools to us as role models, they want to be those role models that they needed when they were younger. And, you know, if I'd had someone like me come in, it would have made such a difference. You know, I found it took me a long time to be happy and to be comfortable with my sexuality. I didn't come out until I was at university. You know, I kind of feel like, I don't want to say they were wasted years. You know, I'm fine. I'm really happy with who I am. But yeah, what would my life have been like if I'd been able to grow up feeling supported and accepted unconditionally? It would have made such a difference. So we go into schools. Yes, we do go into schools. Not going into schools at the moment, as they are all closed because of the whole COVID-19 thing. So it also means we've put a load of our staff on furlough. So they're off work, but they're still being paid. But it means that the government's paying some of the cost of employment for us. So it's helping us with those costs while we don't actually have anything to do because we're not going to schools. But yeah, we go into schools. We've worked with, let's see if I can remember the numbers. So we've been a charity for 9 years, and we've worked with about 110,000 young people now in 9 years, which is pretty amazing. It's a lot of young people. And we're just looking forward to when all of this is over and we can get back to doing the work that we love. It's really frustrating with schools being closed at the moment. I mean, there's only so much. Our model is all based around actually physically going into schools, so it's not something we can just change overnight. We want to look at digital stuff, but it takes time if you want to do it properly. Have the pupils at these schools been quite receptive to your work and presentations, etc.? So for the most part, pupils are really receptive. I would say that, you know, what I find, and I think what lots of research finds now as well, is that the majority of young people who engage in bullying behaviours towards their LGBT peers, or who use, you know, homophobic or biphobic or transphobic language, it's not something they do intending to hurt someone. You know, they'll say stuff like, oh, that's so gay, and they don't think about the impact that's going to have on the person that they're talking to. So, you know, all of those young people who, you know, in that kind of category, when they kind of realise and they understand that, you know, the way they're behaving isn't very inclusive, you know, they're really receptive, because actually they want to be inclusive, you know, and they don't have any, they don't have any problem with someone who's LGBT, so, you know, they tend to change their behaviours. Occasionally we go into schools where the reception is less good, shall we say. I can think of one school in particular, you know, where it was really bad, but for us it was fine that the reception was bad. You know, we were in that school because that school knew that their pupils have a lot of prejudice and a lot of bigotry. So actually that's, you know, it's a school that we need to be in. And for lots of them, you know, it's the first time someone was trying to tell them, you know, it's okay to be gay. So we're doing really important work in those schools when they're less receptive. Oh, where's he gone? Oh, I think this is when it destroys a load of the sides. So yeah, so on the whole it's pretty receptive, and when it's not, we're actually like pretty pleased, if that makes sense, in a strange way. You know, obviously we make sure that all of our volunteers and stuff are okay afterwards, because it can be, you know, it can be a difficult experience for people, you know, especially if they had traumatic experiences themselves at school, or, you know, or have mental health problems or any of those kind of things, you know, which lots of us who are LGBT do, because of the way that society discriminates against us. You know, we check they're okay, but as I say, you know, the good news is it's like, well, actually, these are the schools we really need to be in. The schools where young people say horrendous things during the session. Exactly, that you're right. The comment says it's a shame that some schools have not been as receptive, but as you said, I guess that provides you with a chance to break down stereotypes. It absolutely does. You know, and like the school in particular that I'm thinking of at the moment, you know, has, you know, its problems are not just around LGBT stuff. It's got really severe problems with all sorts of things. You know, and we're there and we're helping and we're making a difference. And if we can just change one person's mind, if we can make things easier for one LGBT person, then it's worth it. We'd like to change everyone overnight, but life isn't that simple. It'd be nice if we could, but yeah, we also get lots of, you know, we do feedback forms and things at the end of sessions, and we get lots of really lovely comments from people. Can I just ask, why was there resistance at a particular school you went to? Was it the demographic, or was it a very religious school? So that one had a very particular demographic. It did have a very strong religious community and quite a traditional religious community. But I would also say, you know, here in the UK we've got religious schools, you know, actual faith schools like Christian schools and Islamic schools and Jewish schools and all that kind of stuff. And actually, some of the religious schools that we've worked with have been some of the very best. You know, it's really, what's the person saying? Morton Wombat, give me that vuln stack. I don't understand what on earth that's saying. Oh, give me that vulnerability stack. Fine. I'm trying to pay enough attention to the game at the same time. Have we been given the opportunity to go back, or if they're not welcome to a charity back? We probably will go back to the school. We've not been back yet. So when we went and worked with that group, I think it was in summer last year. So lots of schools have us back kind of once a year and stuff. So work with a different year group each year. And actually that school was a school that we had been to before when we went in that time. So it wasn't the first time we'd been there already. And they weren't, you know, the staff are brilliant. You know, the staff are absolutely brilliant. I think they actually, you know, some of the things that were said, they disciplined some of the young people for as well, because they were like, you just can't say that, and it's not on. Which is a shame that they have to do that after a session. But yeah, so we probably would have been going back there this summer, but schools are shut. So once we get back and we're working again properly, and schools go back, we'll probably get in touch with them and say, hey, we'd love to come back and do some more work. And tell them about the different work that we've got available that we could do with them and things. I received a player commendation. That's nice. That makes me happy. I always like getting a player commendation. Right, I think I have time for one final thing. Tom says it's so different to when we were at school. I totally agree, Tom. It's really different. It's also, I've worked for the charity for, gosh, how long have I been there now? Nearly 6 years. And even in that time, schools have changed so much. Schools change so quickly, and young people's understanding changes, you know, phenomenally all the time. So I don't know about you, but if someone had asked me to define what it was to be transgender when I was at school, I possibly would have struggled. You know, I guess I might have pointed at Hayley, the character in Coronation Street, you know, and had a notion of what it was to be trans. Whereas, you know, now we go into schools and we talk to young people and they say, you know, they want to talk about people who identify as non-binary, or people who identify as pansexual, or people who identify as gender fluid, and all these things that we just never would have known. I would have had no idea about as a teenager. It's just like really natural to them. It's just the world they're growing up in. What type of role models do we bring along to the session? So we really believe as an organisation that anyone can be a role model. So the point of our role models is that they share personal stories about their lives. The majority of them are LGBT themselves. A few of them are allies. But they all have to be able to talk in sessions about how talk in a positive way about how being LGBT has impacted them or someone close to them. I say in a positive way because it's not about kind of like sugarcoating everything and pretending it's all positive, but we want to leave young people with a positive impression at the end. We don't want them coming away thinking, oh god, this person's had such a hard life and it's all shit, and why would you, god, it sounds really awful and hard and terrible. We want to know, that we might have difficult times, but we're happy with who we are and confident with who we are. So in a secondary school, which is 11-year-olds to 18-year-olds, we would always have at least 2 role models and someone who's a facilitator, so they act like the teacher for the session running it. And then when we go into primary schools, where we work with 5-year-olds to 11-year-olds, so we go and work with really young kids as well, there we would normally just have one role model, and that role model would normally be someone who can talk about family in some way. So they might be someone who's a same-sex parent, they might be someone, like I've gone and done stuff in primary schools. I'm not a parent, but I go and talk about, I show them lots of pictures of my family, and I talk about my husband, and I talk about our wedding and things, help them understand that families come in all different shapes and sizes. So you could have a family that's got a mum and a dad, or you could have a family that's got 2 mums or 2 dads, or you could have a family that's got a single parent. You could live with grandparents, you could be adopted, you could be fostered, you could, and. There are all sorts of different families. And really what matters, we're trying to help the very young children in those sessions understand, is that all of those families are equal. Actually what makes a family is love, and support, and if we love and support one another, then we're a family. That's all that matters, and that no child in your school should be teased or bullied because their family is different from someone else's family. So that's what we do in primary schools. And then we also do work with, we do staff training with teachers, because we want them to feel confident when we're not in the school. We go in for a brief time, we want them to know what they're doing. So we do work with teachers, we do work with school governors who runs, above the head teacher, in charge of the governance in a school, and we do some work with parents as well, but that's kind of really new, our work with parents. And it's been fascinating, because our work with parents, we kind of get, either we get parents turn up who are really, really supportive already, and they want to learn how to be more supportive, or we get parents turn up who really aren't very supportive, and we do a session with them about why they should be supportive and why this is important and why it matters. So we do lots and lots and lots of things, lots to keep us busy. And as I said, we've done it with about 110,000 young people at the moment. And slightly frustratingly, this was going to be a year when we would have seen the most young people ever. And then all the schools get closed. There we go, we're just determined to come back even stronger. And that's kind of why I'm fundraising. I want us to be able to come back even stronger when schools come back, hit the ground running, really make a difference, pick up where we left off. Rather than finding, during this period when we're trying to keep staff who have rent to pay and stuff, keep them receiving a paycheck, that we're not just, using up all of the charities funds endlessly. Because we need money coming in as well, and there are fewer people giving money out to charities while all of this craziness is going on around us. I think this must be the last one, surely. I think we're nearly there. Just quickly going to concentrate on the last bit of the duty. the comments again. Just bear with me. There we go. Fine, got it sorted. Sorry, I can see there are more comments. I'm going to be looking back at them again in just 2 ticks. There we go. We're done. Oh, typo in that. Say hello to the other tank, give you a command. You'd love to have had that growing up, especially when you're younger, especially teen years. You're already self-conscious enough about things that don't have to deal with the struggle of accepting your sexuality, so it's a great idea. Thank you. I agree. The parents are not supportive. Are they very receptive to your opinion and belief? I.e., do they listen, or is it very much dismissed? Just dismiss what you have to say. Actually, oh, tugging on my thing. Actually, that's a question I don't know the answer to, so I'd have to check that. Let me, next time you're on, remind me. I will ask someone else, because I've not been in one of their parent sessions. My guess is it's probably been mixed. You know, there are probably some parents who come along maybe from a particular background, you know, maybe with a particular set of beliefs, whether they're religious or cultural or come from somewhere else, and they're just not going to change their opinions whatever you do. You'll get parents like that, but then there are probably also parents who come along with ignorance, you know, and they don't understand and they don't know. So you can get through to them even if maybe they're not going to say that out loud. You know, you might have planted that little seed that's going to make a difference. I guess it must be hard if someone attends a session with already fixed beliefs. It can be, but you know, we try really hard with the role models we take in to see young people. We try really hard to have role models that reflect the communities that you're in. So, you know, if we're going into a school that has a big African Caribbean population, we try to make sure we've got an African Caribbean role model with us. If we're going to a school that's got a big Jewish population, you know, we try to take a Jewish role model. You know, we try to help people understand that those beliefs, you know, religious beliefs and beliefs in a god or a higher power, you know, they don't have to be a barrier to being inclusive and to being accepting of people who are LGBT. You know, and so we do the same with the parent sessions. We will, you know, for the parent sessions, we spend quite a lot of time talking to the school beforehand. We want to understand from them partly which of those 2 groups I talked about do you think our parents are in? Do you think they're the ones that we need to teach them that this is okay, or do you think they're the ones that know it's okay and want to know how they can be more supportive? Because it helps us to know which group we're expecting, you know, but also to know about the cultural background, religious background, and things like that of the school. And we've got things like, you know, for religion and stuff, we've got a whole load of quotes from religious leaders in just about every different faith. You know, so we can go in and we can say to someone, it's like, well, you know, you say that, you know, Christianity says it's not okay, but here's the Archbishop of Canterbury saying it is. So, you know, he might know a bit more than you do, maybe. You know, trying to help them understand that, you can be religious and you can be LGBT as well, which I think really challenges them. Okay, I'm going to take a couple more questions and then I do have to go and make dinner. Did I have difficulties growing up at school with this? Is that what was the trigger for the idea of the charity? So, I didn't set up the charity, so it's not, my experience isn't the trigger for the charity. But yeah, I had difficulties growing up at school with this. It took me a very long time to be willing to say that I was bullied. I think it's a really interesting thing that lots of people don't necessarily recognise when they're being bullied. You might recognise bullying behaviours, you might recognise behaviours that upset you, but you don't recognise that they were bullying. And I had a lot of stuff where people, you know, where people made comments or acted in certain ways and things like that because they assumed that I was gay. Actually, I'd not come out, so, you know, they had no way of knowing until I actually finally had the confidence to stand up and say, yes, you know, I'm gay. So yeah, I mean, I found school a really tough time. Not as tough as some other people I know, but, you know, it wasn't a happy time. So that helped me. Well, that's why I wanted to be in this charity in particular. I've always wanted to make a difference, and the kind of person who in my work I want to make a difference. So I've worked at other charities before this and things. But the person who did set up the charity, she is a woman called Saran. She's actually going to be talking to me at silly o'clock in the morning on Monday morning on my stream, because she was born in New Zealand. She came over here to the UK. She set up the charity, and now she's back in New Zealand. So she can talk to me during the afternoon for her, but it'll be in the middle of the night for us. And she was a teacher. She was teaching at school in London. She was getting really fed up with the language that she was seeing her pupils used, and she was trying to be a role model. And she thought it would be really great for them to have more role models, so she went and set up a charity. Okay, so I will say when I'm doing my charity stream, and that's how I'm going to wrap up. So my charity stream is on Sunday, this Sunday coming. I start at 10 AM on Sunday. I'm going all the way through till 12 noon on Monday. 26 hours. So do please tune in. If you want to know what I'm streaming and when, if you look at my Twitch channel, there's a schedule in there. If you've come across me through Twitter, you'll find the schedule floating about on Twitter as well. I've tweeted about it a couple of times and things. So do please come back. Great to see you all then. Yeah, and I'll definitely want some company while I do it for 26 hours. It's going to be a bit hardcore, but I'm looking forward to it. So thank you everyone for joining this evening. That's going to be it for now, because I need to go make dinner. I will probably stream at some time tomorrow, but I've not set anything in stone. So I normally announce it beforehand, a few hours beforehand if I can, at least on Twitter. And then once I'm beyond this charity stream, which is the reason I've started streaming, I'm going to think about what my stream is going to look like every week and get into a proper schedule and things, so that people can come along and watch and know when I'm going to be on. But great, thank you everyone. Have a really lovely rest of your Friday, and I will catch you all soon. Thanks, bye bye.